Good morning. This is MS. There is hope. This morning, our guest, first of all, I'm excited. Our guest this morning is Dr. Stefan Hainzl. Doctor, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good afternoon from Austria.
Oh, that's right. It's afternoon. It's
Yeah.
morning in the US.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
Dr. Hanzl has had MS for, 2000, about 15 years. He was a runner. He got MS. Of course, he couldn't run. He had balance problems. I'll let him tell you all his problems. And then he did the Coimbra protocol. He found the Coimbra protocol, thank God. And he did it. And now you're back running, aren't you? You can
I'm
run.
back running. Yes.
He has written a book. I
I'm-
encourage you to get the book. He's going to tell you the information whenever we get through the interview here. First, we're going to read a little medical disclaimer here, so some of our friends will leave us alone. And Dr. Hanzl is going to share with us his testimony. This interview addresses multiple sclerosis and the treatment using the Coimbra protocol. Dr. Hanzl is a doctor. Usually I say we are not doctors. Dr. Hanzl is a doctor, but he is not giving medical advice for the treatment of your MS. Ways and methods of treating chronic autoimmune conditions such as MS can vary widely person to person. So your treatment should always be done by a licensed medical professional. We are sharing our own personal experience, and this is our testimony of those experiences. Again, Dr. Hanzl, thank you for joining us this morning on MS There's Hope. And we look forward to hearing your testimony and more about your journey doing the Coimbra protocol. Take it away.
Okay. So, yeah, my name is Stefan Hainzl. I'm a medical doctor since 20 years. I have my own praxis. I'm doing, on the one hand, a family doctor, but the most time in work I'm doing. I'm dealing with musculoskeletal medicine. I'm doing a lot of osteopathic medicine. I did the doctor of osteopathic medicine at the Philadelphia College of Medicine. And I do acupuncture. I'm doing a lot of injections. I'm working with fascia, with fascia. And yeah, and I got the diagnosis multiple sclerosis in the year 2008. In January 2008, I got the problem with my left eye during running. Yeah, and I thought, wow, what's with my left eye? And so I got day for day more problems with this eye, and I got to an eye doctor and a friend of mine, and she said, oh, you don't have nothing in your eye, you have another problem, because I couldn't see the colors. Yeah, and she gave me a red color pen, and she said to me, oh, what color is it? And I said, wow, I see the red. I don't see the red. Yeah.
People, I want to interject this while he's sharing his testimony. His left eye, he couldn't see. That's not uncommon. For me, it was my left eye also. I had double vision. Okay. Typical for MS sufferers to have a first symptom dealing with their eye. Go ahead, doctor.
It's very common, yeah. And yeah, and the following days we made MRI and we saw a lot of lesions. I think I had at the first MRI we saw 23 lesions in my head.
Oh my.
Yeah? And
wow,
really big ones too. And every doctor said to me and asked me, I was wondering why I'm still walking, yeah, because I had a lot of lesions, but I felt motorically good, yeah. And I had the problems, and first I had much more problems with my mentally. I had much more mentally problems, yeah, as physiological problems. Yeah, I couldn't deal with this illness. I felt in a depression, and it lasted very, very long. Yeah, it was a big problem for me and for my family. I have 3 kids, And that was first the worst thing. The biggest problem was the pressure, was my mental thinking about because I was a school medicine. For me, it was clear how it's ending. I am ending in the wheelchair. I'm ending much worse. That was for me from the first day I heard I have a multiple sclerosis. It was a catastrophe for me. Yeah, it was.
Yes.
I didn't know how to handle with it. Yeah, and that was the first problem.
It's very depressing. It really is. You go from a normal life to a doctor telling you in a few years you'll be in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that was a big problem. I was a runner. I'm doing a lot of, I did a lot of sport, and yeah, and so the years went on, and I felt quite good. My left eye was still not good, but in the following years, I got problems with my balance, I had a big dizziness, a big fatigue. I think it was. I was really exhausted. I just laying the whole day. I'm working. Working was okay. Working, I could focus. I could do it. But when I got home, I lay down, 3 kids, and I slept. Or
Yes.
I was.
I used to come home at 6 o'clock in the evening. I owned a business, and I would go to bed at 6:30.
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
even stay up.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
it was a terrible time, and it got worse, and I had a second a second job, because I'm working at the Austrian Ski Federation, and I was at already 4 Olympic Games as a medical doctor for the Austrian Ski Federation, and in the year 2018. I was in Pyeongchang in South Korea at the Olympic Games with the Ski Federation, and the weeks before I got the relapse. Now I don't know how to say. It got worse and worse. Yeah, and
Yep.
I went
Relapse.
relapse. I got the big problems with my left leg. I couldn't use it anymore. I couldn't walk anymore. I could do this anymore, yeah, with my feet, and I flew nevertheless to South Korea, and there it got worse and worse, and yeah, and when I came home, yeah, I got to the hospital in Vienna, and but they said you have multiple sclerosis. It's a problem. Yeah, and I did school medicine. I took medicine. I took Tecfidera at this time, and they said it's everything what they can do is nothing. Yeah, we can do cortisone. I had 20 times got cortisone in the years before. Yeah. And there's a high dose cortisone, 1 gram, and yeah, and so I lay in the bed there in the hospital, and it was my first time, and the most people don't believe me that, but I was a school medicine. I grew up with school medicine. For me, it was the only way, just the way, and I knew I have to go this way, but this time I recognized my first time that it can't be my only way. I have to find something else, and I
Yes.
lay on the bed and give in the Google some words, and suddenly Coimbra comes, and I read an interview, yeah, and then I read a lot of this therapy of Coimbra, and I decided for myself, I can do this for myself. I do it. I do this therapy.
Now,
And
people, I want to interject this. We
yeah,
do not recommend you, even if you're a doctor, we recommend you talk to somebody. We recommend that you become educated on it. Don't do
but,
this yourself.
but
Now, he's a
I,
medical doctor.
yeah,
He knew what he was doing. Okay. And he read up on it. But for all you people out there that are not MDs, and or even if you are an MD, you need to be educated on the protocol, because high doses of vitamin D without flushing your system can be detrimental. Go ahead, doctor. Sorry, I had to interject that.
It's okay, John. You're right, and you have to say them. That's very, very important. And also for me, for myself, I got a little bit scared with doing the very, very high dose of vitamin D, checking the parat hormone and something like this. And I looked for an doctor very close to me who is doing Coimbra, and he helped me. Yeah, I went to him and I told him what I'm doing, and he helped me. And so yeah, and that started in the year 2018. I finished stopping my last medication, school medication, and within 5, 6, 7 weeks, my dizziness, my balance, my fatigue got so much better. Then I thought, yes, that's the right way. I have to do it.
You feel like you want to scream.
Yeah.
When I started feeling better, I wanted to scream. It works. It works. Oh
Yeah.
my God, it works.
Yeah, that was my thinking. Oh my God, it's working. My
Yes.
left leg didn't work, but I had so much power. I had so much power.
Yes.
I had a
Yes.
clear thinking. Yeah, I had
Yes.
no dizziness. I could think. That was the problem, and I lost completely my orientation when we got. In a restaurant, I didn't found back from the toilet. Yeah, I couldn't, and I had back everything. Yeah, except my motoric problems. Yeah, and that was really, and I thought, yes, that's a good way. That's a good way, and I did it further and further, and little bit 1 year later. I ran the first time again 7 kilometers without stopping.
Wow. You must have
And
felt great.
yeah, I felt great, but I have to say that Coimbra was not the only thing I did. Yeah, I
Right.
did. I had
Right.
4 pillars. I don't know how to say it. Was T3. It was. I changed completely my lifestyle. I
Yes.
I I thought
You
I have to.
de-stressed. That's
Yeah,
big.
my stress was the one part. The other part was my eating, my foods,
Yes.
my
Yes.
and I stopped eat. For me, I tried to eat everything without inflammatory potential.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I stopped eat. I just eat plant-based since 5 years now. Yeah,
Yes.
just
Yeah.
plant-based.
I
I
eat meat, but I try to eat well. You
Yeah,
know, let me interject this, doctor. The Coimbra protocol stops your disease and it stops it from progressing, but it doesn't put you into good shape. If you're fat and eating greasy food, you're still going to be fat and greasy eating greasy food. You just don't have multiple sclerosis. Well, you still probably going to feel bad or be overweight. You need to try to eat a healthy diet, de-stress, maybe get some acupuncture. You know, there's other things you can do besides the protocol to help your health. You know, we don't promote the protocol as that it's a miracle cure for everything. The protocol will stop your multiple sclerosis. Then it's up to you to take care of your body and your health with other things. And that's what Dr. Hanzl is saying. Go ahead.
yeah. And so I started to eat just plant-based beside my Coimbra, and I started doing mental things. Yeah, I'm a
Yes.
fan of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I did meditations, started to meditations, and and I'm doing my sport. Yeah, and try to move on with my sport, and I'm going better. And so, yeah, that's my way. And I told you, in the 1 year after 2018, I could run again 7 kilometers. Now I am in a shape than 20 years ago. Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
completely free of symptoms, completely free of any symptoms. Yeah, my left eye is the only thing I'm feeling while I'm playing tennis, something like this, but I can't
Oh,
play tennis again. Yeah,
oh,
and
that's great.
I have my completely life again. Yeah, and and so my wife and me decided to write a book about
Yes.
how we dealt with the whole things. And yeah, in Austria, we in Austria and in Germany, especially in Germany, we sold some thousand
Oh,
pieces.
that's great. That's
And,
great.
and I got more than 1,000 emails, yeah,
Oh,
and really
that's
good
great.
ones. And we changed a lot and and that is a really that's the best feeling. Yeah,
Well,
that's
since you bridged that topic, why don't you share with the people watching this the name of the book and where they can get it?
yeah. The book's name is "Come Back: My Journey Way to Life." Um, it's the English version. It's My Journey Back to Life. Yeah, that's the English name. We translated it some weeks ago. Yeah, we in the German edition we already sold, I think, 10,000 pieces, and the English edition is to buy on Kindle. Kindle, yeah, it's just online. You have to buy it online. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't use, he was talking to me, we were talking beforehand. You can't use the app. You have to use the desktop version, I guess,
Yes,
of
you
Amazon.
have to. Yes, you have to use the desktop version. Then it's working. Yeah, and yeah,
Now, did you read in Anna Claudia's book, Vitamin D and lots of it, I think, or something? I don't know. But did you read any other Coimbra? There's not
yeah,
very many out there.
yeah. I read the book. I don't remember the name of her, but I think it's MS and a lot of what vitamin D. Yeah,
Yes, that's Anna Claudia's book.
yeah, from Portuguese. Uh, I think it's
Yes.
a Portuguese girl. Yeah,
Yeah,
who
she speaks Portuguese as far as I know. She lives in New
is a
Mexico.
Brazilian.
And uh yeah, where the protocol starts is in Brazil and they do speak Portuguese.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
so I think she started with Doc. I think Anna Claudia Domain is the first American uh, patient that went through the protocol. The page, the Coimbra Protocol, the North American group, started by a lady by the name of Jennifer Butler. She's no
Okay.
longer heading that group, but she also had done a book too. But I think she took it down from Amazon. It was only like 50 pages, but she's gotten better. What I tell people, and I said this in the last interview. Sorry for taking over the interview. Um, what I said in the last interview, people do the protocol, they get better, and then they go away. And you don't hear from them again. Now, thankfully, Dr. Hanzl has written a book and is paying it forward. And I don't blame people for going away. Their lives go on, and thank God for that. You know, they have a normal or a semi normal life. But um, the doctor is kind enough to realize there's other people out there wanting some hope, and he's giving them that hope. Doctor, go ahead. I took the interview over.
Yeah. So we wrote this book, and the last years everything got better and better. I'm doing my Coimbra. Um, I'm checking myself every few weeks. I think it's very important.
What do you think the hardest part of the protocol was for you?
The protocol was for me. There was nothing very hard. It was. easy because I felt within some weeks so much better that I did it, and I did a lot of vitamin D. I took a lot of vitamin D, and I'm doing this. I'm still
Don't
doing
you
this.
think it's a stumbling block to the medical community because the protocol is so simple, and it's so simple that medical professionals think it's got to be more complicated, and it's not. Trained doctors can be trained in a month's period of time how to do well, actually less than that, but you can be trained quickly how to do it. You need to be trained, or you should be trained. Um,
Absolutely, yeah. But
but
the
it's
problem is
not hard.
the problem is nobody knows this. Yeah, everything I have every patient tells me, oh, too much vitamin D, and we speak about 1,000 per day or something like this.
Yeah,
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. And their doctors tell them it's
yeah, exactly.
not allowed to take more than 2,000 because they get problems, and the knowledge
Well,
is
hold
really
hold
bad.
that hold that thought. I have to start a new interview. This is part one. We're going to do a two-part series with Dr. Stefan Hainzl here, and we're going to have to stop the interview here because Zoom doesn't give me over 20 minutes now. So I'm going to stop the interview. Part two is coming up. I encourage you to watch that